Pole dancing, a gravity-defying sport that's had people spinning for decades at least. An activity that requires muscle and lets you show them off too. I've seen some other YouTubers give it a go, and it's always a blast watching them learn and struggle, especially when it's men doing it. Their silly romps seem to be in line with what I do on my channel. They do funny things, I do funny things, hopefully. So for a video, I thought I would get several of my guy friends together and we try our hands and legs at the old metal dance stick. Who knows, even if we were somewhat good at it, it would still be funny seeing a bunch of dudes try pole dancing. The session was set, the participants were gathered, we were ready to embarrass ourselves for content. But then I gave it some thought. Why did I think that men trying out pole dancing was funny? Let's rewind a bit. Pole has been used for exercise and to show off physical prowess as far back as at least 800 years ago, with the traditional Indian sport of Malakam. There's also the Chinese pole, which can be traced back to 12th century.
As far as I can tell, whether or not modern chrome-plated pole dancing that is done that requires skin contact and all of that stuff, whether or not its origin takes influences from those, so much of what it is was built up in those strip clubs and by those sex workers. I feel like it muddies the waters and is sort of disrespectful to the obvious recent origin of it, to try and claim that it's based in these older traditions that were done mostly by men in a different place.
In order to dive into my own puzzlement on the matter, who better to tell me why men pole dancing is funny than a man who pole dances?
My name's David. I go mostly by Bluminek online. I shoot arrows and pole dance. I do medieval and fantasy content mostly, but then every now and then just throw in a sprinkle of pole dancing because I'm a pole instructor. And that's one of my other hats that I wear, is that I teach pole dancing and do competitions and shows and performances and stuff.
David agreed to chat, and him being in England and me in the United States, I had to wake up at the crack of dawn to make the Zoom call.
Oh, it's so early.
It was 11:30.
You were saying our lives are so different. I could have been willing to bet that because you shoot arrows with deadly accuracy while perched atop a pole, and I do what I do.
David is someone who's been outspoken on the respect pole dancing and pole dancers deserve.
I started at university. I knew that I had the potential maybe to be athletic, but I hated all of it. There was this hyper-masculine energy around things like rugby and cricket, so I didn't want to go anywhere near those. And I got to uni, and they're showing me all of these wonderful sports and activities that I can do that aren't tied into these kind of really old-fashioned ideas of what's normal, and one of them was pole dancing. And it took a bit of a nudge from some other friends to be like, no, go on, actually go and try it. But when I did, I've not looked back.
So if someone like David can do pole and feel empowered and look awesome doing it, why does there seem to be some sort of cultural stigma surrounding men participating in it? My search for answers took me to Joanna.
Hi, Joanna Monserrate here. I've been pole dancing since 2010.
Maybe Joanna would confirm that this stigma that I think exists is actually a misconception. Maybe a bunch of dudes are taking pole, it's completely normal, and I've just been ignorant to it my entire life.
Pole dancing is by far done more by people who identify as women.
Oh.
It is so in tune to this feminine aspect of movement. In order to move more gracefully around the pole, you have to allow your body to curve. And when you have natural curves, that becomes a little bit more easy.
You don't tend to find a lot of other men. People just entering at beginner level, it's over 90% women.
So it's perhaps the fact that pole dancing classes tend to focus on traditionally feminine movements that maybe steer guys away. And that makes sense. For confirmation, I decided to ask the guys who signed up to join me on this very comedic venture. Dominic, Connor, Alex, and Gabriel. I wanted to get their initial impressions of pole dancing and whether or not it aligned with their idea of masculinity that they had been brought up to know.
Pole dancing, at least in the traditional sense, definitely not.
Growing up, no.
I definitely don't think that pole dancing would be considered masculine.
No, pole dancing wouldn't have fit into what I was taught masculinity was.
Yeah, don't know what other answer I was expecting given that we've heard from professionals that the pole dancing we currently know of has largely been a female-driven activity. To break from that cultural standard can be awkward and silly, and there are those, like me, who break from that standard for the entertainment of others who like to watch. Just like the content creators before me, so shall I be the bumbler who brings the laughs for my own viewers. And the wheel of the world spins on. Huzzah! I had my answer. Now it was time to go to that session, do our part as YouTubers, break from the status quo, and make fools of ourselves. But then I thought, does making fun of ourselves have to be the only outcome? Is this the only thing we can glean from this awkward adventure? Or can we take away a deeper meaning from all of this? I needed to ask my friends a more important question. How often do they allow themselves to feel sexy?
I think I'm a very work-minded person, and so letting loose after a long day is usually the time that I have to feel sexy.
As a toddler dad, I rarely feel sexy anymore. I mostly feel exhausted. Good exhausted, but I'm just like not really in a sexy phase of my life. Just now working on coming back around to it, working on reconnecting to my body.
It's my mentality. If I can dress nice, or if I can anticipate dressing nice, I'll work myself up to that. Daily, I would look at myself in the mirror. You'll catch glimpses where it's like, you kind of suck, but you know, it changes.
Day to day is just trying to maybe wear something. The right fitting clothes really can do a lot for you. Weekly, monthly, I do a lot of photo shoots. If you go to my page at all, you'll see that I'm no stranger to doing more risque, sexy kind of photo shoots to feel myself.
Okay, so some of my friends allow for it more than others, but I was willing to bet there was room for improvement. And I wanted to see what pole dancing could do for each of us. So it was time for the trusty scientific method. First, I asked my friends to share some activities that make them feel better about themselves. I wanted them to rate their sexy levels from 1 to 10 prior to the activity and then give another rating afterward.
On my way to activity, it's actually a photographer that I met at a bar. I'd say I'd feel about a 7. I feel pretty cool right now. I feel just as sexy as I did going in. Maybe I'm up to that 8 now.
Scale of 1 to 10, I feel like a 7 out of 10. After having a very good time at the club tonight, I am at an 8.5 out of 10. Stick 'em up, partner. Oh.
I'm going on a date with my wife. I feel not sexy right now. Maybe 2 out of 10 tops. But let's see if we can improve the score. This is probably my top shirt. Gotta freshen first. We're washing, we're brushing. Beard, very important. Don't want a scratchy beard. The agua de gio. So I can smell like my dad. Classic. Better. Definitely bumped up the score by a few points. I'd say 6 out of 10.
6, 7. I've been in jiu-jitsu 7 years, and I'm still not good at it. It's very safe if done correctly. Ten, completely a 10. My head hurts, but I'm a 10. 10 out of 10.
Just seeing what my friends did to feel sexier showed me that there were a lot more ways to explore it than I thought. But what might levitating like a magic fireman under purple lights do for the manly soul? It was finally time to find out. Yes, you're actually gonna do it this time.
Okay.
From a 0 to 10, what's your sexy level?
I guess 6'5", 7.
I'm at like a good 6.5.
Solid 3.
I've got my shorts, I've got my weird European cut shirt, I've got a sparkling water, and I've got a lollipop. So kind of feeling like Bayonetta right now. Like an 8.5, maybe almost a 9.
I am feeling like a 5. How sexy are you feeling right now?
10.
Wow, you jumped right into it. Joining us as well is another friend of ours, Esther. I wanted to include Esther mainly to get her experience as someone who's been training in pole dance. And also, let's face it, when the rest of us inevitably the bed with our dancing, you're gonna want to see someone doing it right. The beginning of the lesson involved us sitting in a circle and introducing ourselves as if we were attending Alcoholics Anonymous. That's not me editorializing. That's literally how they explained it to us.
Hi, I'm Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
Right now I'm feeling eager.
And I'd like to be feeling satisfied.
I came here today because I love a good challenge.
And at the end, I want to feel embodied.
And what brought me here was my willingness to exercise that ability to feel sexy.
I'm Marina. At the end of class, I would like to feel confident and generous.
Then it was some easy, simple movements.
So we're gonna start by taking our foot out to the side and drawing a circle. And around here, we really like to encourage curious movement over correct movement.
I'm so impressed by what you're doing and trying to poke. I feel like a fucking robot.
Don't think I'm doing it right.
I feel like I'm going down when I'm supposed to be going up.
Dom's feeling himself. I'm trying.
Good, we're gonna step behind our poles. You'll see around the room there's a spray bottle and a towel. This is to clean your pole. If at any time your pole feels too slippery or too sticky, this is This is how you will alleviate that problem, and you want to spray the towel first so you're not spritzing the rubbing alcohol everywhere to slip on later. You got it. So what we're gonna do is just place the towel on the pole. So slide that hand upwards.
Oh.
Yeah. Then slide it down to clean the bottom half of the pole.
Boy, did I want to make a joke about cleaning one's pole. But this was a serious class, and there is nothing necessarily dirty about cleaning one's pole.
Now, I want you to imagine that your towel has been dipped in paint, and you are going to make your pole extra dirty.
Okay, well, actually, never mind. We got pretty lascivious with it fast. What I felt this cleaning of the pole was forcing me to do rather quickly was let go of worrying about how I looked. We had to get over the fact that we were gonna get sensual, despite being in a room with our friends, or with women who were definitely gonna be better at dancing than us, or, in our very unique case, doing it while being filmed.
What felt good about that?
Just how like melty and gooey it was.
I am genuinely trying to think about what felt good about that.
I don't feel gooey yet, but I feel that there is the ability eventually to feel gooey.
I was definitely nervous and self-conscious at first, and it took me like closing my eyes and just feeling the music to just forget that I was here.
I think when the music sounds sexy, it tricks me into feeling sexy.
Already sort of surprised at what is working, but also running into some limitations.
Marina was quick to dispel one particular expectation, which was that in pole dancing, no one has to do anything that doesn't make them feel confident. And that includes lifting off the ground.
Snap in half.
Well, I meant that you don't have to levitate off the ground. But there are multiple ways of standing up.
You can come over onto your knees,
Okay, that might be better.
and then one foot carries the weight, other foot. Yeah, okay, that is your getup.
My relationship with my body is complicated as a trans man. After getting top surgery, there was a lot of sitting around in recovery, and I'm just now getting into the swing of things, like trying to exercise more.
Meanwhile, Connor, who's definitely one of my friends who has, I would say, a much more assured sense of self, was really worried that he wouldn't win this pole dancing session.
Everything hurts. Training around somebody like Esther, she is so f***ing good. It almost made me angry how good someone else was at a thing I just started, because I'm a very competitive person. I was already angry that I'm wanting to be better than Esther in a playful way.
Both ends of the spectrum of confidence seem to be here for the lesson.
Biggest misconception about pole dancing is that you have to be strong. You take pole dancing because maybe you're seeking strength, maybe you're seeking flexibility, maybe you're seeking just moving your body in general.
And indeed, once we began tuning out the noise and I stopped playing to the camera, an almost impossible feat for me. I was simply listening to the music and letting go. And I started to get better at it. Maybe I wasn't, but in my mind, I was feeling more at ease with it.
I'm feeling like I'm loosening up a little bit. Like I always want to move, but I always feel awkward moving.
Who knew if any of this was gonna make us feel sexier than our favorite sexy activities? Maybe it wouldn't, and that'd be fine. The cool thing is that pole dancing could be one more outlet in this world any of us could utilize. The problem is that culture tends to dictate it to be something off limits for men.
There's a lot of baggage with cultural perceptions of pole dancing in general. One of them is the fact that pole owes a lot of what it is and a lot of its origins to strippers and sex workers, mostly women. As a result, it tends towards people who are a little bit more femme-leaning. When you do get men join, they're usually gay. There is a higher ratio of gay to straight than you would find in another random activity. Men in general, and straight men in particular, have not historically been encouraged to do things that are predominantly done by women. And even with recent pushes in feminism, that's been more aimed at getting women to be able to do everything. And there's been less of a push to make it acceptable for men to do things that are traditionally feminine.
But big deal! So dancing around a pole is off the table for us. We can literally do any other manly activity we can think of. Except, of course, you know, taking pictures of food, or attending a seafood boil, or drinking from a cup, or crying when they see their bride at their wedding. Okay, wait, now I can't make cookies? This!
I mean, this video alone, pole dancing, men pole dancing, I feel like would only be a concept taken a little more seriously if, you know, we're all like ripped Chippendale kind of types at a Vegas club. But anything outside of that, there's usually like a comedic connotation behind it.
I just feel like men shame each other and also might think that they're cringe or each other's cringe, especially when it comes to pole dancing.
I'd say that women have a much more persistent expectation from society to be sexy. But that's not to say that guys don't want to feel sexy.
If you happen to be an impressionable dude on the internet, this would be enough to make you not want to try anything, for fear of the slightest action being misconstrued for femininity. As if femininity didn't also rock, and I truly mean that. Why are we treating femininity as some opposing force or boogeyman that we should be afraid of? It can be quite balancing to be in touch with multiple, dare I say, sides of oneself. But I don't know, dude. It also just seems like people don't know what masculinity is even supposed to be. So at some point, I think you just gotta say, F all those people, the noise, and stop leaving life on the table. I think trying more things and getting out of your zone of familiarity will only make you a more developed person. Now that we'd all nailed down some rudimentary moves and felt pretty good, Marina decided to turn the spicy level up to habanero by having us all attempt holding ourselves up off the ground.
Once you feel it squeezing like a mother, see if you can tap that foot on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The harder you squeeze, the less it hurts.
Marina said that one's legs never develop calluses from the pole, that your nerves just get used to the pain, and that has to be on my list of the top 10 most raw as things I've ever heard.
I thought it would be a workout for my arms, but the thigh work that went into pole dancing was completely unexpected.
It was good to know that we didn't have to incorporate this into our routine, but some of us weren't going to turn down the challenge. And as one might expect, Esther was killing it.
Being in a class where I'm supposed to be comfortable and feeling sexy and being around other people that are also embracing that, it's hard to not stare and appreciate people doing that while also not trying to objectify them, especially when someone's performing very, very well. It's a fascination, but you don't want to like catch yourself staring.
Whenever a man would come into our booth, our space, and would try to do like a flag move and doing like iron X's, people would gather and they wanted to see this spectacle of a man on the pole. The minute a woman would get on the pole, the seas would part. The thought is probably they're not doing this with the intention of garnering attention, and yet that garners attention. But if a woman is trying it, she's definitely doing it for attention. And I don't think it's necessarily pole dancing specifically, but cultural stigma with women expressing themselves in a sensual manner.
It's ironic that men's struggle may be that their pole dancing isn't taken seriously or seen as sexy, whereas women are being overly sexualized. The practice is a lot of times done to help one feel sexy, but not to the point where people avert their eyes because they think to even look upon it would be seen as sinful and lecherous.
And it's one of the reasons why I get the heels out. I feel almost guilty that I can get away with doing this without people sexualizing it. I feel like I have to make sure that I'm reminding people that people do sexualize this. I put some little bits of tape over my nipples just to make it, because that's another bit of privilege. I can go completely shirtless. Nobody thinks anything of that. In fact, people often find that less weird if I'm wearing something like a crop top. Everything about it is so loaded and so gendered.
David brings up a good point here, that men have a lot of privilege to be in these predominantly female spaces. We're not as subjected to the male gaze, and we're less likely to be placed in danger by participating in these activities. Are exotic dancers and sex workers responsible for the negative perception placed on them by the public? Or is it the largely male clientele that are the actual ones leading to these practices potentially becoming dangerous, especially with many of these businesses not having any set protections or accountability put in place for their workers? What we experienced during the session was an atmosphere of trust and support, while encouraging us to feel sexy. I just think that's a standard that should be applied everywhere. One's expression of sexiness is not an invitation to be sexualized. And seeing someone express their sexiness does not inherently mean that you're sexualizing them. If it's not for you, that's completely valid. But don't make it anybody else's problem. The interesting thing I noticed during the class was that my friends who have a good handle on feeling sexy were getting a little frustrated that they weren't smashing the exercise.
Nothing's changed for me. I'm gonna continue to throw myself at this f***ing pole until it works.
There is that hunger to practice it and learn it and feel better about it. I don't feel like I achieved that yet, but I now think I have what I need to kind of move forward.
I'm not sexy unless I win.
Whereas my friends who entered with low confidence were gaining it more and more as we went on.
It's all come together now. Doing everything individually felt one way, but then being able to experiment with different combinations freed up a lot of the movement where I was like, well, I just don't really know where to step from here, and then kind of being able to free flow through everything.
The adrenaline got me out of my mind and more into my body, just thinking about what I was doing in the moment rather than what I'm gonna do next, which was really helpful for me.
I knew I wasn't looking like a graceful swan as I clenched that pole so hard I thought my thighs would pop, but I was just feeling proud that I could even suspend myself. Could barely manage this the last time I tried.
Yeah, I'm not even watching any of you anymore. I'm in my own head performing.
Back in 2023, after a skin condition caused all my hair to fall out, I went through a breakup and was just feeling all around depressed. I went on a journey to fall back in love with myself. And among other things, like a new haircut and going back to the gym, another activity I tried was pole dancing. A friend recommended it to me, I went to a class with her, and I ended up having a great time. So much so that I posted about it on social media. But the reactions were mixed, either because it was too femme, or because it was too off-brand from what I normally post, or simply because people just didn't get it. And after about a week, I got anxious and archived the posts. I figured if I were to ever try it again, like for, say, a vlog, it would just be for comedy. But that's sad! Yeah, I'm a bigger guy with very little coordination and no balance, but that shouldn't preclude me from trying my hands at new sexy things. It's possible that a lot of men struggle with this. And guess what? Yeah, the awkwardness of trying something new may make you feel like you're either gonna look really funny or you could possibly come off as sexy. But, as once stated by one of the greatest voices of our time, the little girl from the old El Paso commercial, "Por qué no los dos?"
I won a pole competition. I won the category. It wasn't like the whole competition itself. A drama category and a classique category, art category, and there's a comedy category.
How do I not know that there is a comedy category for pole dancing?
I just love that vibe.
That would be my category. That would be, if I could do anything, that would be it.
You'd smash it.
There is such a thing as comedic pole dancing, combining the best of both worlds, and that resonated with me. And not just because I'm a Hannah Montana fan. Magic Mike showed us that Channing Tatum can make you laugh while simultaneously being the sexual awakening for every gender. You can have your Roger Rabbit walk alongside your Jessica Rabbit. Trying to feel sexy can be very awkward and clumsy, but that's also really freaking beautiful, and we shouldn't be taking ourselves that seriously anyway. So this vlog can be funny, but it doesn't have to be just that.
When I first started this video, I made these for us to actually dance in because I thought it would be funny. But now, I only want you to put one of these on if it makes you feel sexy.
I can't read it. I'm not wearing my glasses.
That's okay.
What?
On this day, my friends and I abandoned our preconceived notions and rode those poles into oblivion.
Connor, what is up? Why are you on the floor?
Because I don't feel like I'm gonna win this game.
Connor, what would it take for you to feel like you've won?
Money.
Bring in the money gun!
Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Legends ain't born, they built from the grind. From benches to banners, we sharpen the mind. We sharpen the sword and promise and swore that we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Hey, yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor. Yeah, we going hard and leaving it all on the floor.
There was one thing left to do in my scientific study.
How do you feel from a 1 to 10 in terms of sexiness after that class?
I think we're up at like a 7 or an 8 now.
I feel like a 10 right now. I don't know if I felt this good all year.
100.
I was gonna say, you after already coming in at a 10?
I think I'm at a 9 right now, which is definitely better than I came in. I just need to get better at it, but I feel really good. And the money gun was awesome.
The same.
I feel like I feel about the same I did coming in, but I feel educated, or I have the tools to kind of know how to move forward with this.
So this wasn't immediately a hit with some of my friends. Amazingly, the exact friends I expected. But it was also very validating for some of my other friends as much as it was for me. And maybe this video shows that pole dancing could have the same effect for you. Or not. And if it's not, there are literally thousands of other things that could do it for you. Feeling sexy seems to come from doing anything that makes one feel empowered. It could be going to the gym, reading a book, creating a D&D map, nurturing plants. Okay, that last one is definitely not my strong suit. I did not feel sexy killing that plant. Truly, so many activities are available to you regardless of gender or sexuality when you don't have little bitches on the internet whispering in your ear.
Make people more aware of A, the fact that it exists, B, the fact that it's a dance form, it's an art form, and that means you can do it the way that you want to. When I want to dress up in semi-medieval clothing and shoot an arrow upside down, I can do that. And when I want to put big like 8-inch heels on and shoot an arrow upside down, I can do that.
It creates this opening for community every single time that you come into the studio.
It may be an awkward adventure at first, but being brave enough to give it a go anyway, that's pretty sexy. Oh, and yes, we did decide, because we liked the design so much, to make these shirts available for a limited time over at thomassanders.com. We also have them available in keychain form if you're interested in something a little bit more subtle. Get them while you can. They are super soft, unlike the cold and unforgiving pole that was between my legs. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I want to give a big thank you to David the Arrow Bard for taking time out of his day to chat with me. I also want to thank Marina and Joanna and all of Happy Kiss Pole Dance for allowing us to use their space for this awesome experience. You can find their socials in the video description down below. When I started this adventure, I had no idea where I was going to end up. I hope you enjoyed the ride as much as I did. If you are interested in any of our previous videos, you can click over here, or if you're new to the channel and would like to subscribe, click down here. That is it, and until next time, take it easy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Peace out. My legs are still sore. My legs are still sore from that experience. I'm just gonna waddle out. Ah.